COVID-19 was imported into Malawi at a period the country was undergoing controversial fresh elections. This created a situation where the pandemic was politicized in different fashions. From mere observation, there was low-risk perception of the disease in the population. Little was known about the extent to which political rhetoric and other factors influenced the perception. It was against this background that UNICEF, in collaboration with researchers from Chancy College, conducted a rapid assessment to evaluate the level of risk perception in the population, to explore factors related to risk perception, and lastly, provide recommendations on communication approaches that would promote prevention and control of COVID-19. The study was guided by a phenomenological qualitative design that seeks to understand meanings through life experiences. It used interview guides with open-ended questions that inquired about rumors, information, feelings, and expectations around COVID-19. Through such inquiry, the researchers were able to understand that Malawians could not see themselves at risk because they associated the pandemic with race and socioeconomic differences. It is a disease for white people, some said. It is for the rich and the famous, others said. These sentiments pointed to the fact that when incidents are low and localized, people will associate disease with geography, race, and status. A good number of people never believed the disease existed, owing to compromised accountability of leaders. It is a gimmick to get donor funds for campaign. Why were politicians the first to announce COVID-19, but they are not observing social distancing during campaigns? And why are government officers holding meetings without taking precautions? The people felt betrayed. These sentiments established that trust goes with downward accountability, whereby leaders need to live by expected standards. When this was breached, risk perception dropped. Socioeconomic factors equally influenced low-risk perception as people saw themselves not being able to practice the recommended behaviors. Having no potable water and soap to wash hands, no food to make them stay at home. Some people chose to avert the threat. And finally, cultural and religious practices came into play. According to some pious individuals, no pandemic could withstand the power of God. Why practice social distance in church? The image that was drawn at last was that low-risk perception in Malawi was largely influenced by a concoction of factors that included negative political rhetoric, socioeconomic factors, and cultural as well as religious piousness. Communication and community engagement needed and still needs to use influential political, cultural, and religious figures to raise risk perception. For that to effectively happen, leaders have to live by example. In addition, risk communication should use materials that clearly demonstrate viral transmission speed in locally contextualized media. Finally, advocacy for economic interventions goes beyond risk communication and community engagement. It requires all partners in emergency pillars to raise their voice together and act.